silence your phones, just so that we don't have any phones going off. Gary's not here, so he should be safe. Love you, Gary. But his phone's always going off. Hey, does he? That's awesome. It's awesome. All right, well, we're going to get started. Hello, everybody online. Good having you. So, today we are going to talk about the Mercy Shower. The Mercy Shower. Pardon me? Yes, we will. So, matter of fact, won't you pray us in? Come on, Sam, pray us in. Good point. Good point, bro. Pray us in.
Father God, thank you for bringing us together today to explore our spiritual gifts and the gift of mercy showing. Please bless Pastor Robert to convey your message in your words and teach us a good lesson that we may absorb all of it. Walk better in your path. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. So the Mercy Shower is an awesome piece of the church. Great gift and a great piece of the church. And it's you know what you're going to find with the Mercy Shower is that the closer you get to Jesus, the more you're going to act in this gifting. When I first did this test like years ago. It was like at the bottom, and now it's tied for second. So you get, I think, based on what you have to deal with, how you get close to the Lord, you start getting more mercy. You start having more mercy for people. You still get frustrated, but you have more mercy. Um, and so the mercy shower is a spirit-given capacity and desire to serve God by identifying with and comforting those who are in need. You are the person who understands and comforts fellow Christians and others. So does anybody here is this anybody's primary gift? Primary gift. Awesome. Awesome. This is that you guys are a special breed, man. I love it. And you guys are going to learn a lot from this. I believe I learned a lot from it. All right, let's keep going, shall we? So here's the witnessing style of a mercy shower. God loves us so much. Surely, He does not anyone to go to hell. I mean, mercy showers just can't imagine anybody going to hell. It's just beyond their comprehension. Everybody should be saved, and there's no way that God would wants, and He doesn't actually. It says in the Word, He doesn't wish that anyone would perish. Right? Mercy showers will tell you the tearjerker story that will leave you in so much emotional strife you won't be able to resist responding to the gospel. They have a way of pulling at your heartstrings. They will cry with you. They will weep with you. They will mourn with you. They will they will meet you right where you are. They're really a blessed gift. I really say that in all sincerity. Our churches, I believe, need to operate more in this. We need this activated. Like people with this gifting needs to be activated, and they need to be released in the church because it's a very important role of the church. So let's talk about it. It means to feel sympathy with or for others. Now, understand something. Feeling sympathy with, it goes a little deeper than that. They not only sympathize, but empathize. So, people with this gift are comforters who enter grief with that person. So, when someone is grieving, they're grieving with them. They're not having sympathy for them as they grieve. No, they're grieving with them. They're so connected in this by this gift that they actually grieve with each other. To show empathy, it goes beyond sympathy. And so, sympathy feels for others, empathy feels with others. So, when they have empathy for someone, they're feeling with someone. When someone else is happy, they're happy with them. When they are sad, they're sad with them. When they are mourning, they're mourning with them. So they're right in there with you, and it creates a real bond um, when you are going through something, whether it's usually bad, but also in good. Um, to have someone that shares in those ups and downs with you, and not just says, "Well, just go pray about it," you know. Or if it's one gift, well, just pray through, you'll be all right, you know. Get right with God, that won't happen, you know. I'm not going to mention any giftings, but I think you know who you are. Um, uh, they seem to always say the right thing at the right time. They are ones people call first whenever it is bad or good, because they really do feel this connection. So the mercy shower in the church is someone everybody is going to like. They're going to really be drawn to them a lot because of how they operate. The only some of the problems, and we're going to get to the some of the weaknesses of it and things like that. But one of the problems is a lot of times people will that do not have that gifting, they'll be like, "Well, why are they always going to that person, not me?" That's because you're not as gentle as someone else. You know, there's a time for being gentle, and there's the time for not. Right? Most people don't want hard love, tough love. Um, but sometimes you need tough love, and sometimes you need that, right? So a lot of people are drawn to the Mercy Shore for that reason. Okay. Questions or comments? Move right along. They're generally not found teaching Sunday school or leading a group, since their personality is one of soft-spoken love. They're not going to be up here and just rah like Bonnie.
But that's my number one gift.
I know. It says generally. It says generally. Generally, you won't find them. Doesn't say you'll never find them. Generally, they don't. They're not usually leaders. Not usually, since they don't want to. They don't want to hurt. It hurts them too much to discipline people or to push someone to get a job done. They don't want to do that. That's not their personality. So that's the typical. But you're not typical, Bonnie. That's the typical Mercy Shore. People love Mercy Shores because of all they love, they receive from them. This world needs love. They've even written songs about it. All we need is love. No, 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 no. Anyway, love is all you need. You're a sounding, what is it, gong without love, right? So, and you guys, the reason I say we need Mercy Showers because they can empathize with people and rejoice with people, and it's is because the church has come out. We talked about this on a Sunday, how the church came out of this hellfire and brimstone, turn or burn. Everybody's Jesus coming. You're gonna go to hell. You better get right. That wasn't a love message. That was a fear message. I grew up in it. And then we've gone to this super squishy Jesus love. But the love we speak about doesn't have any teeth. What do I mean by that? Real love has teeth. In other words, it creates something. It creates compassion for others. It will create love for others. Real love is going to move you to do something and to be there and to be present. And, it's not just a word you say, "I love you, brother." No, it's like you actually have to do some work. And so we use love a lot, but we have to really look what love is in 1 Corinthians 13. And so we really do need this because they're very good. They're very good at this within the church. Okay. I already read that one. Here's some of the characteristics. They're usually soft-spoken. Not always, but usually. Our Mercy Shower in our church, that she's not here right now. She's probably watching online. Hi, Miss Janelle. Is Janelle, and she's very soft-spoken. She's like a grandma, and she's just real soft-spoken. She's a mercy shower. She'll love up on you. They're usually outgoing with a low key. In other words, they're not the one that says, "Hey, I'm here." They're not me. Um, they're they're very they're outgoing, but they're not boisterous or really out there. They have a very inoffensive personality. That weeded a lot of you guys out right there. Not kidding. I'm just messing with you guys right now. They make it very easy to express themselves. They're very they can articulate their feelings. They can very good communicators usually, and they always appear to be very loving. Usually good natured and liked by others. That's these are all characteristics of the mercy shower. Okay, questions or comments? So is any of you a mercy shower and this stuff like so far? You go, that's not me. Yeah. Well, it's the usually and the generally part. It is you. That's I'm talking right to you. All right. Well, good. So here's the thing about mercy showers that really, it really concerns me, is that a lot of people will be like, "You're too soft," because they're kind and they're gentle. And thank God they're kind and they're gentle because we can be too hard, right? So they bring a softness to the body. My whole body is not all bone. There's flesh, right? I don't think there's any hard places left on my body. They're pretty soft now through time and 59 years old and not going to the gym. There's muscles are not very very firm anymore, right? But we need the softness of a Christian. We need of that mercy shore. Okay. So let's keep going. Here's some more. Talks easily with people, is easy to talk to. Talks easily with people and easy to talk to. Very responsive to people, and a very good listener. I think my wife would challenge that that's my number two gift about the being a good listener. Um, More subjective than objective. Decisions are not made by feelings, are made by feelings more than fact. They're going to make a decision because they feel like it's the right thing versus, you know, someone's going to need money, or someone's going to need something to eat, or and a prophet will be like, well, what are you spending your money on? You drinking, you smoking? Well, if you wouldn't drink and smoke, you'd have money. Well, that's factual, right? Isn't that factual? That's factual, right? Do you pay your tithes? No. Well, no wonder you have need. That's a prophet. That's why you're in need. You don't pay your tithes. A mercy shower does not care what you do. Oh, you need something to eat? Okay, here, take my food. That's just the way they are. That's the way they are. Okay. They're peaceable, agreeable. They do not overpower others. They're a good yin to the opposite yang, if you will. So they're the opposite side of, like, let's call it, say, a prophet. All right. Uh, Someone who does not analyze the details. They don't care about the details. They just care about the here, the now, and the person. Okay. A lot of you mercy showers you probably have family members or friends, and they get on you for doing things that why are you doing that for them? You can't help it. You can't help it. It's just in you, and you're going to do that, and it's okay. It's who you are, right? All right, let's talk about some burdens, desires, and strengths of the mercy shower. They have a burden to comfort others. It's like for a mercy shower, if someone is in distraught, or they're saddened, they don't just go, man, that person over there was in a bad mood today, or man, do you see how they were looking at that? No, they don't do that. They have to go find out, and they have to make sure they're okay. That's just the way they're wired. The mercy shower is sympathetic and sensitive. Sympathetic and sensitive. If that sounds like you, then thank you, Jesus. We need it. Where's mercy shower in yours, honey? Y'all be praying for me. No, you're good, honey. I'm playing with you. Just joking. They have a heart. They like to fellowship with other sympathetic people. So they get in their little clusters and they just, it's hearts and flowers and everything is great. You know, they have they attracted to those type of people. They have a heart of compassion for the poor, the aged, the ill, the underprivileged, etc. So any of those people that are marginalized, they really are drawn to them. They're drawn to people that don't have, and they're driven by that. They're patient, and they respond to others' needs quickly. You'll never hear a mercy shower say, "Let me pray about that." They just do it because they know it needs to be done. Okay, and so that's how they operate. For us that have friends or in the church mercy showers, we have to look out for mercy showers because they're too nice. When I say too nice, I mean they'll be taken advantage of. And if people identify that they're that way, people will take advantage of them. So we always have to be looking out for them. And that's our job, right? To look out for one another. And when I say too nice, I don't mean like you're nice to a fault. I'm like you're so nice that people will take advantage of you. It happens to me sometimes. But I have a theory. I'd rather be nice and let people take advantage of me, and that's on them. You know, I got to answer for me. So if I do what I believe is right and someone takes advantage of me because I'm being nice, they got to answer for that. I don't. So that's just how I operate. So I don't know if you can be too nice to people, you know, regardless. Unless, of course, you're at the gas pump and someone tells you to move your car out of the way. And then that could see, if you were in a mercy shower right there, Bonnie, if you was a prophet, we'd be bailing you out of jail right now. They attract people that are hurting. They attract people that are hurting, or rejoicing for that matter. So people in those arenas, they attract them because they celebrate with them, and they also will hurt with them. They're not condemning. They're not a griper. I mean, some can be with other mercy showers. You know, they can kind of get together and gripe about certain things, but you won't. They're not a condemning, griping person. Thank God. We need more mercy showers from that point of view, right? It's nice not to be griper. Burdens, desires, and strengths. So here we go. That identify emotionally and mentally with others. Identify emotionally and mentally with others. It's very easy for them to just slide right into wherever someone is. You know, it's very easy for them. They don't. You know, there's no reservation or calculation or analyzing going on. Patient, sincere, responsive, tolerant. I mean, those are some fruits of the Spirit right there. They can become insecure and withdrawn and somewhat remote. They can, because they're always serving. If people get to know how they are, and then all of a sudden the mercy shower doesn't respond the way they think they should, they can be vulnerable to attacks of those people they've been helping. And when they get attacked, that really messes them up, because they're like a sheep. There is no defense system. They don't have a defense system. You attack some of these other giftings, and you may draw back a nut. Not with a mercy shower. They get hurt because they're very internal. They remember people's names and faces. They're good for that. Maybe I should get some of you mercy showers to help me remember the new visitors, maybe. They're self-sacrificing. They like to think about things for a while before making a decision. which is they think about it, but they don't analyze it and go into detail about it. They just think about it. Does that make sense? They give it thought. And usually it's, how can I do this the best? Or how can I do this where it's, you know what I mean? It's always for the other person, right? The self-sacrificing, just one line up there, is you guys got to just watch that a little bit. Because like I said earlier, when you're that type of person and that's your gifting where you're self-sacrificing, if you're not careful, people will take advantage of that. And again, it's always on them if they take advantage of you, but you just want to make sure that you're protected and you don't let the devil turn your gift and hurt you with it. The enemy can take any one of our giftings and use it against us. But just that simple. Any gifting he can use against you if you're not careful. So you just have to watch out for that, okay? Special needs and weaknesses, they make a really poor counselor. If they don't have additional, like, discipline, they usually don't make a good counselor because they're too soft. They will never tell someone that's straight up like, you need to do this, you're wrong. They won't do that. And so usually they don't make it, they just want to, you know, I understand. Oh, you're right. Well, actually, you're wrong. But, and so they typically make a poor counselor. Typically. They can resent others who are not as understanding. You'll have mercy showers maybe look at the prophet as too hard and mean. Someone that doesn't give the time. Someone that is more dismissive to people's needs or dismissive to their feelings. A mercy shower they'll resent that. They don't like it. They're not always logical and sometimes emotional. They have if it's between logic and emotion, they're choosing emotion every time. So they don't really process based on logic. It's usually emotional decisions. Allows others to use them. I mentioned that earlier. And when I say when it says allows others to use it, it's not like they choose going, please use me. That's not it. That's not it. It's just their nature is one that people will use them, and they won't pull back. They won't pull back and go, they're using me. They may even know they're using them, but they don't want to pull back. And so, again, if you're a mercy shower and you're feeling like someone's using you and someone doesn't know, go talk to someone. Say, hey, I've been doing this and this is what's happening. And someone will give you the 411 on that, okay? Some often has a low self-image. You know, they often have a low self-image of themselves. Okay, they don't see themselves as this powerful person. They see themselves more as a pillow for people to land on. Okay, they may not see themselves as great authority. Again, they're the pillow for people to land on. And I would say you have to be careful with that, because the mercy shower is a pillow for people to land on, but that's not negative. We all need a pillow to land on at some point, don't we? So, but we need to make sure that they don't see themselves as that and that alone. We need to make sure that mercy showers understand how important they are to the health of the church. That's very important. Special needs and weaknesses. Okay. They can be indecisive. Does that ring a bell with any mercy showers? Not quite sure. Should I? Shouldn't? Can become a gossiper. Well, the reason you guys can become a gossiper is because you guys get everybody's gossip. Everybody's coming to you with everything. You got all this information, and if you're not careful, you're gonna find yourself, oh, yeah, man, this one over here, oh, poor thing, she's heard so much. You know what she's been through lately, right? I mean, it's not like I need you guys to understand that it's not a criticism. It's like anything else. if you're taking in all this information and people are coming to you with all their problems and you're empathizing with people and then you're rejoicing in all their good stuff, guess what? You know pretty much a lot about everybody because they're attracted to you to begin with. So what do you do with that? If you're not careful, you can become a gossiper. So, and especially when you get with other mercy showers and start comparing stories. Oh, this poor guy, he was so broken. Really? Well, his wife came to me and she said this. Bam, wow, right? So just watch yourself. They can get depressed easily. Why do you think that is? Anybody have an answer for that? What? Carrying burdens for others. Feels like everybody's using them. But yes, you're right. Because when you're a mercy shower, you attract people like that. And so the majority of your interactions are going to be transactional. You're going to be giving love, giving advice, giving of yourself. You're self-sacrificing by nature. So it's very easy for you to become like, I'm getting used and feel that way. And this is, I just want you to have this defense mechanism. It's not that you may be being used, possibly, and that's for you to pray on and find out what God is doing. But also understand my job is to love on others the way others can't. And to do for others what others can't. Like you are spiritually gifted to do that. My wife, sometimes she'll say to me, she'll say things like, how long are you going to mess with that person? You've messed with them for 15 years. I'm like, you know what? Until God doesn't give me the grace for it, I'm going to keep doing it. Now, when God removes the grace, then I guess it's gone. But because number 2 is mercy shower on my part, and Pastor Shepherd is 1, and mercy's down on hers, and she's admin, she's crunching numbers. This doesn't make sense to me. Why would you do it? You have made 85 visits, 45 phone calls, and the data says it's not working. Right? I mean, that's the way admin is. You know? She plugged it in her admin spreadsheet, and it does not compute. What are you doing, Robert? And I don't and I don't have a spreadsheet, right? I don't have a spreadsheet. So it, you can, but we need people that will, when God puts the grace on them to do that they do it. But again, it's not for everybody. My buddy, Bill, he had prostate surgery yesterday, so I went to the hospital and I saw him. He doesn't go to our church. He doesn't believe there's a God. But I went to him and I took him a little Jesus. And and he called me up today and he goes, Pastor, and I said, yeah. He goes, somebody took my little Jesus. I said, you got to be kidding me. He goes, no, they cleaned up my tray and I think they took my Jesus. And I said, well, I'll get you another one, Bill. Don't worry about it. He goes, okay. 30 minutes later, call me back. I found my Jesus. They have it. They didn't take it. I thought they took it. It's right here. I said, okay. He's an atheist. But he's won his little Jesus. So I'm just telling you, and he is an atheist, and I would say he's one of my best friends. He'll ask me all the time, why do you do what you do? And I say this to him, I say, Bill, I'm not doing anything. I said, it is God loving you through me. I said, I'm proof there is a God because it doesn't make sense I'm here. And he just starts crying and then goes, give me a hug. He's 89. He's going to be 90 in January. So I love Bill. He's my buddy. All right. So those of you that are close to mercy showers, watch them when they get down. I go through some funk sometimes. Sometimes I get in a funk, and I've got to focus on things I know that are upright and righteous, and think of those things that are good and pure and holy and praiseworthy. And I got to pull myself up. But if you have someone that around you and you start seeing that happen in them, talk to them. Get them to talk to you. They will talk to you. I promise. Have them talk to you and share with you what's going on, okay? They can be controlled by their circumstance because they're so invested, right? They get so invested that if the wind blows there they go. If the wind blows over here, well, there they go. And so they can get very, very invested in circumstances. And so based on the circumstance, they can be like a yo-yo. Not in a negative way. It's not negative. That's not a negative thing. I'm talking about if someone is distraught, they're distraught. Someone's happy, they're happy, and so they're just going with it. And so that circumstance that they find themselves in it controls them because they're so invested in it. So you guys, again, look out for those. I think that like we need the mercy showers, but the mercy showers need us. That we can identify because they do operate on a different level than we do. It's not my primary gift, so I can't say I don't have all these characteristics, but I do have some. And they may be pessimistic. I mean, if you sit and listen to people's crying on your shoulder 24/7, you'd be like, what's the use? People are lousy. You know what I mean? I mean, it can happen. It can happen. And so if you find somebody, you need to kind of. I will say this: if mercy showers, look, if any of you find yourself doing this, you got to be careful because you give so much. You got to make sure and back away every now and then. It's okay to say no. To take a break, because it does wear you out. It wears you out. Where I charge my batteries is out on that golf course. When I get out there for 3 hours or 4 hours, I chase around that little ball and I don't think about anything. I'm walking in the park. I'm listening to the birds. I'm watching two eagles. They got eagles out at our golf course. Watching eagles flying and picking out fish out of the stream. I mean, life is good. I'm drinking my water and getting ready to go in and have my sandwich. Life is good. It's good. Take a break. You got to learn to take a break somewhere, somehow. My wife goes on walks. That's her thing. Loves to walk. I don't love to walk that much, but she walks 10,000 steps a day. All right. How they're misunderstood. They're weak. They're just weak. No, they're not weak. They're empathetic. But they will be seen as weak. They're a compromiser. No, they're not compromising. They're empathetic. Because someone else is maybe doing something that they shouldn't. They don't look at what they're doing wrong. They just look at the result of what happened because of what they did. So they're in jail. That's awful. Well, you deserve to be in jail, says one Christian. The other Christian, the mercy shower, goes and says, oh, that is horrible. They go down there. They do everything they can for them. They send them a care package. That's what they do, right? They're not a compromiser. They're looking at their current situation, and they don't care how they got there. They're just trying to meet that need. They take up and they defend people. They take up for and they defend people. They're a great defender. Sometimes they're wrong, but they mean well. I've had mercy showers come and try to defend people, when it comes to me, and I'm like, hey, you don't have all the info, But they're very protective, and I appreciate that. They think the mercy shower is a softie, and they're not. Well, they are, but not in a negative way. They're soft in emotions, soft in feelings. They're soft in their, when you lay down at night, do you want to lay on this concrete, or would you like to lay in a nice mattress? You want to lay on a nice mattress, right? Well, when you're having a problem, you want to go to someone that can minister to you in the way that you need, right? They think they're too emotional and they cry too easily. Not true, not true, not true. Emotions are good. Crying is good. It's good for you. And they're not too emotional, and they don't cry too. I don't even think that's a thing. I don't think you can be. Personally. But who am I? I just cry all the time. My family makes fun of me because I cry at commercials at home. A commercial will come on and they'll be like, watch that, watch that, watch that. It's okay. George, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Okay, now this is how Satan can attack this gift. This is important. Pay attention. Can cause pride because of their ability to relate to others. So, because that you can relate to others and people are attracted to you, you're like Joe Popular in the church. Look at everybody going to that person. Why does everybody go to them? If you're a leader and you have someone that's a mercy shower in your group, and a lot of people go to them and they don't go to you, if you're not careful, you'll get jealous of them because everybody's going to the mercy shower. Don't be jealous. Just let them do what they do. Let them use their gift. Let them be who they are. You're a leader. You lead. You may have a gifting of a mercy shower, but it's not your primary. Your pastor shepherd is going to be your number one, and then this may be down the line. So let those primaries do their thing, right? Also, Satan can attack this gift by causing disregard for rules and authority because they just don't understand. Look what's happening in LA right now. We got all these riots, right? It's really simple, you guys. If you break the law, you go to jail. Right? But a mercy shore would be like, no, but wait. So it's a different dynamic. So if you're not careful, you will overlook rules or authority thinking they don't understand the way you understand. And rules and authority are there for a reason. So you always got to be in that box where that happens, right? Satan can cause a lack of discipline because of strong feelings for those who hurt due to disobedience and sin. So when there's somebody that's disobedient and sinful, then, he can cause you to become less disciplined in your own faith. Next thing you know, you're helping a guy get the donkey out of the ditch and you fall in too. Right? What does it say? Bad morals, corrupt, good character or something like that? Good character, yeah. So there you go. So you got to be careful that, I never will forget. I had this one person call me up and wanted me to come pick him up at a bar. I said, ain't happening, bro. He's like, why not? I need a ride. I said, figure it out. I said, I'm not pulling up into XYZ bar in a Powerhouse Christian Ministries truck, walk out, park in the parking lot, and walk in there, and somebody go, hey, Pastor, I saw you walking into XYZ bar. It ain't happening. You got yourself in it, you get it out. That was before I was a mercy shower. Now I'd have him meet me a block away. See how I changed? See? Before I was like, you went to a bar, find your way home. Now I'm like, okay, meet me down the street. I'll take you home.